Hey everyone, Paloma here. Welcome to today's webinar. The topic we are covering is artificial intelligence for retail. I'm super excited about this one. We'll give people just a minute or two more to join. Thank you all so much for taking some time out of your busy day to join us. Before we begin, just want to do a little bit of housekeeping. In the GoToWebinar panel, you'll see a place to submit your questions. Feel free to submit your questions at any time during the presentation via the question panel. If I don't get to it right away, I'll make sure to go through those at the end. A brief introduction to AppCard. We process 700 million transactions every year. Currently, we're in 1 out of 8 U.S. households. We've got about 20 million shoppers with over 4,000 merchants using our system. We have 100 company employees, and I am based out of our New York office here in Manhattan. We have a second office in Delray Beach, Florida, and a third office in Tel Aviv. So what exactly is AppCard? A lot of you might think that AppCard is a loyalty and rewards program, and we definitely are that at heart. But AppCard is really a system, and it's a system that offers data-driven SMS and email marketing, loyalty and rewards, employee monitoring and fraud prevention, customer segmentation and data-driven marketing tools, business intelligence, cloud-based reporting dashboards, and a customer CRM as well. Retail Pro International is a global leader in retail management software that's recognized worldwide for its rich functionality, multinational capabilities, and unparalleled flexibility. Major retailers all over the world are using Retail Pro to optimize their operations and deliver on the unified retail experience that customers expect. I'd like to take a moment to thank our friends at Retail Pro for their continued support and partnership. For those of you that I have not met yet, my name is Paloma Kim, and I'm a senior franchise marketing consultant at AppCard. I've been with AppCard for almost 4 years now, and I'm responsible for everything Retail Pro. I've worked with many of you over the past 18 months, and I'm super excited to continue building partnerships within the Retail Pro network. On our agenda today is, what is artificial intelligence exactly? How is it being used in the retail industry? And how can you use artificial intelligence to market your business? So what exactly is artificial intelligence? I think this is a great place to start, as the answer to this is typically really complex, but heavily influenced by Hollywood as well as popular culture. So from Skynet to Hall and Jarvis, popular culture has tainted the perception on what AI is, what it can be, and what it's currently being used for. Even in today, we see some examples of AI in Alexa and Siri that aren't truly indicative of what artificial intelligence actually is. So in the next section, we're going to take a general view of the artificial intelligence to better understand what it is. AI is a vast field of study, and from one end of the spectrum to the other, things can look and feel completely different. One thing, though, does remain constant, and it's the general principle of intelligence and how it can be created through technology. Let's go ahead and get started. So AI is a branch of computer science that seeks to recreate the cognitive problem-solving abilities of the human brain in machines. To do this, computer science has created the machine version of the human brain called a neural network. The human brain is a network of neurons, and we use these to learn things. If computer scientists can replicate the structure and function of the human brain, we may be able to get cognitive capabilities in machines. So what this basically means is that a machine might be able to think, learn, and make decisions just like you and I. But what exactly does that mean, and what are we trying to replicate here? Not many people have thought about the existential nature of learning and decision making. To understand artificial intelligence, we must first understand how humans learn and make decisions. On a very high level, there are 4 basic steps that lead to the general intelligence and decision making. Of course, this is an oversimplification, but it should help us to understand how learning takes place and ultimately how we can actually recreate intelligence in machines. So step 1 is going to be pattern recognition. If we capture a bunch of data points on when a shopper makes a purchase, we can plot that information and then recognize the average length of time between those purchases. In this case, we can see that the shopper makes a purchase every 30 days. This is going to be our first pattern. Step 2 becomes prediction. So if we can determine a pattern, we can then make a prediction on when the next likely purchase will happen. In this case, the next number must be 180. Step 3 is then goal orientation. So once a prediction is made, we can give the machine a goal. Let's say that the goal is to reduce shopper churn by ensuring that the shopper makes their next predicted purchase. Step 4 is success and failure learning. We then give the machine the tools it needs to achieve its goal. In the marketing world, these tools are typically communication channels like SMS and email marketing. The machine will try different communication methods to achieve the highest conversion rate. With each attempt, the machine can actually measure the results to see whether it has reduced shopper churn or whether it has increased. Through success and failure, the machine will learn the best time to communicate with the shopper as well as the best incentive to provide and the best delivery method, whether it be SMS or email. These are the main ingredients to understanding how intelligent machines can be created. Now, let's take a look at a couple different scenarios that are relevant in today's retail world. So there are many different patterns when it comes to shopper behavior, and of course there's going to be many different goals laid out by retailers that wish to improve shopper experience and ultimately increase their revenue. A very useful pattern to identify is the shopper's buying cycle. So this again is the average amount of time between successive purchases. If we learn this pattern, we can then accurately predict the next purchase. This will allow us to create several different goals that will influence shopper behavior as well as spend. As discussed in the last slide, one goal could also be churn prevention, but we have other goals that we can also set by using buying cycles as a base for the pattern. We then ask the machine to increase the average transaction value. The machine may test success or failure by providing shoppers with different incentives for percentages off to maybe dollar amounts, measuring the result, and recalibrating for the optimal communication schematic. Another goal could possibly be to ask the machine to increase the frequency of purchases, cutting down the average buying cycle from, let's say, 30 to 15 days. The machine, again, will try different incentives at different times to optimize the best result in order to satisfy the retailer's goal. All of these goals can be achieved from pattern 1. Pattern 2 is an example of a more complex pattern that an AI is capable of recognizing, analyzing, and acting on. This is a product correlation pattern. So in this type of pattern, the machine is looking at multiple layers of data. First, it would look at products like, let's say, Nike sneakers. It then looks at shoppers that are purchasing Nike sneakers, and it looks to see if these shoppers are also purchasing any other product frequently. Let's say that the AI recognizes that people who purchase Nike sneakers also correlate highly with the purchase of Dr. Scholl's insoles. The AI can then use this pattern to predict that Nike shoppers will also buy insoles. We can set the goal to incentivize Nike shoppers to buy insoles so that the AI will then recommend Dr. Scholl's insoles to all Nike shoppers that have not yet purchased insoles with, again, different types of offers, and then measuring that success or that failure. An AI's capacity for pattern recognition, prediction, goal setting, and measurement of success and failure is pretty much limitless. So why AI and not the human brain? The answer to this question may seem a bit redundant after all that we've talked about, but let's get a little more detailed on why artificial intelligence is such an exciting new technology and tool for retailers. AI can recognize patterns on a much more granular level than humans are actually able to. An AI can track patterns and it can learn patterns. It can make predictions on every single one of your shoppers instead of your customer base as a whole. This allows the artificial intelligence to learn personal preferences for everyone. AI can learn complex patterns using multiple data points. So not only can it learn the individual shopper buying cycle, but it can also learn whether they respond to different offers better or worse, what time of the day they're actually likely to make the purchase, and even if the weather outside encouraged or deterred them. Lastly, and probably most importantly, machines are capable of processing data at amazing speeds. What might take you and me a couple of hours to calculate using longhand math may take an AI system just seconds to solve. Artificial intelligence is a vast branch of computer science and can be used in many ways to enhance and improve the shopper experience and communication between both the retailer and the shopper. In this next section, we're going to take a look at some of the unique and exciting ways that artificial intelligence is being currently used in the retail industry. So in the beauty product industry, we see some very exciting uses for artificial intelligence that are not only providing better experience for shoppers, but are also helping retailers to better stock their brick and mortar stores in an effort to provide shoppers with the right inventory. So here we're taking a look at L'Oreal and Sephora, two major retailers in the beauty industry that recently released augmented reality mobile applications. Using the mobile app, shoppers can actually see themselves on the mobile device and they can try on different beauty products before even making a purchase. This in itself is super cool. I've actually used this one before. Using AI, these retailers can even scan the faces of shoppers while they try on the different beauty products. The AI records skin tone, the shape and contours of the face, and it can even identify wrinkles. Using these data points, the AI can then recommend different products that would suit each individual shopper, helping them to pick the right products at the right time. The app then also adds another layer of data through the location service on the mobile device and relays this data to the local brick and mortar stores. This is then used to inform the store which products they should carry based on the shoppers in their area. This type of AI falls under a different segment of the artificial intelligence family tree. It's most commonly known as symbolic learning and computer vision. Retail clothing, the next example is Neiman Marcus. So Neiman Marcus uses similar AI in the learning process that we described earlier. Through their mobile app, e-commerce, and in-store purchases, Neiman Marcus is able to track each customer's transaction history, their behavior, identifying those purchasing patterns that allow them to personalize communication that provides a better experience for each shopper. So, for example, let's say that you were to go to Neiman Marcus and you purchase Guess brand jeans. You're likely going to see marketing communications that pertain to Guess moving forward. These communications will also be timed based on your individual buying cycle. The good thing is that Neiman Marcus doesn't totally discount the value of human intelligence. So in the melding of man and machine, Neiman Marcus actually provides sales associate with like a list of shopper information produced by that artificial intelligence. So the AI tells sales associates which customers are likely to make a purchase soon and what they're likely to buy based on their transaction history. The sales associate is then able to send personalized communication with specific product recommendations. So this is an amazing example of how machines can actually enhance customer communication. Artificial intelligence is not the next big thing. It is the big thing, and it's here and it's now. So most of the name brand retailers have already implemented some level of AI into their marketing strategies, and I have a few here. So Nordstrom uses AI for the digital tool style boards, which allows salespeople, again, to create and send personalized recommendations based on their next probable purchase and their past purchases. Fair Compare has increased revenue by about 13% after deploying Marketing Cloud Einstein AI to send personalized hotel and flight recommendations. Campbell's Soup Company is using Watson Ads, which is a cognitive system for better advertising. Levi's has also developed some super cool virtual stylists, which helps users find the perfect fitting pair of jeans based on each user's preferences. Last but not least, Under Armour has a record app which tracks and analyzes users' workouts and then gives them personalized training and nutrition advice. So what makes artificial intelligence so successful? This question may seem kind of silly given what we've covered so far, but if I were to ask each of you this question individually, I would likely get a bunch of different answers and they would all hold some level of individual truth. But there's really one answer to this question, and it's that artificial intelligence equals personalization. So personalization is really the idea that each and every one of us is unique, not only with our own style, but also with our own buying cycles, our preferred communication methods, promotional preferences, and even spending habits. We like to celebrate our originality and appreciate the recognition of our uniqueness. Each example of artificial intelligence in retail that we've reviewed are united by the same effort to learn shopper preferences and cater to them on an individual basis. Personalization is fast becoming the universal language in marketing. Several recent studies have shown the effect of personalization in the marketing world today. So research reveals that personalization can deliver 5 to 8 times the ROI on marketing spend, and it lifts sales 10% or more. Our average increase in spend with AppCard is about 28%. Personalization leads to a 67% transaction value, a 300% conversion rate, and a 7% annual revenue increase. 35% of Amazon's revenue is generated through its personalized recommendation engine, which I'm sure you guys are all familiar with. 40% of consumers buy more from retailers who personalize the shopping experience across multiple channels. And lastly, 96% of consumers surveyed indicating that they receive mistargeted promotions. 94% of those people express their dissatisfaction by taking action to deleting those emails or unsubscribing them or sending them to junk or spam. In this next section, I want to introduce you guys to Pinky. So Pinky is our artificial intelligence connected to Retail Pro through the AppCard plugin. We named Pinky after that 90s cartoon, Pinky and the Brain. Through the marriage of your Retail Pro point of sale and the AppCard marketing and reward system, you'll be able to capture shoppers' identity, purchase history, and transaction size, allowing Pinky to learn behavior and patterns, creating an AI for your business that will automate and personalize shopper communication, ultimately creating a better experience and much higher ROIs. So Pinky, again, is a nickname for our AI system, which is composed of artificial neural networks and other machine learning approaches, which are orchestrated and optimized via reinforced learning. So reinforced learning is an important concept to note. We touched on this a little bit earlier in the webinar, but let's take a moment again to explain this now. Reinforced learning is a method used to teach AI how to self-improve through that process of trial and error. So Pinky is an AI that uses reinforced learning to judge the success of its marketing efforts against a conversion goal. So essentially what this means is that when Pinky targets a shopper based on a learned pattern and has a goal of motivating a new purchase from that shopper, it will learn from success or failure of that effort, and it will use this data to replicate the communication for future marketing efforts. Building Pinky and acclimating him to your business is super easy, and it just requires three ingredients. So ingredient one is going to be shopper identity. Ingredient two is a communication channel such as email or SMS marketing. Ingredient three is transaction data. So the app card system for Retail Pro is designed to allow you to capture these three ingredients to power that AI. Now let's examine how all of these things actually come together. So ingredient number one is customer identity. Capturing a shopper's identity and creating an individual profile allows Pinky to learn the behavior and transaction history of individual shoppers to then create that personalized communication and experience. In order to achieve this, the AppCard platform allows you to offer your shoppers a loyalty and rewards program. So traditionally, loyalty has been viewed as pretty much a simple retention tool designed to incentivize repeat purchases and also at times increase the average transaction size among participants. In more recent marketing theory, loyalty is viewed more as an opportunity for shopper identification, whereby the shopper will self-identify during each transaction in exchange for points towards rewards. You can basically think of loyalty as a new currency that you create between you and your shopper. It's a currency that you can use to obtain information about their shopping behavior and their transaction history. Ingredient two is communication channel. So the second ingredient is a marketing system is really rendered to channel without knowing how it speaks to your shoppers. So loyalty plays another role in gathering your ingredients. Shopper identification requires some form of a unique identifier. So in the case of this loyalty program, we can use the shopper's phone number as the unique identifier for participation. If we capture their phone number, you can then begin to build an SMS channel for communication. Using your new points-based loyalty system that we talked about before, you can then trade those points for shoppers' email addresses, their physical addresses, or more, creating a robust set of communication channels. Finally, our third ingredient is the most important. It's transaction data. So transaction data will tell you what motivates the customer to pull out their wallets and actually make a purchase, whether it be in your brick and mortar stores or online. Transaction data will allow you to understand a number of different things about your shoppers that will ultimately allow Pinky to learn the proverbial DNA of each and every one of them. Our mixing bowl, so to say, of all these ingredients is going to be POS-based loyalty. So by running a loyalty and reward system through your point of sale, Retail Pro, you can capture all three ingredients during every single transaction. The beauty of AppCard is that we're not just tracking loyalty and rewards customers, we are actually tracking everybody, which gives us a very nice benchmark to compare the two groups and actually be able to show you on an hourly, daily, monthly, and yearly basis exactly how much more money to the cent loyalty customers, people receiving personalized SMS and email marketing, are spending versus those that are not signed up for anything. As shoppers use the loyalty program during the checkout, they'll self-identify to your cashiers using their phone number. Once the transaction is actually complete, AppCard will then capture the SKU level transaction information from Retail Pro, and it will pair it back to that shopper's identity. POS-based loyalty and rewards allow you to capture the shopper identity, the phone number, and the transaction history all in real time. Now, before we go on to Pinky's actual capabilities, I wanted to quickly run you through how the shopper experiences the loyalty and rewards program at the point of sale. So it's a fast and seamless process that'll definitely keep your lines moving. So we are compatible with all versions of Retail Pro. I have Prism here, but once you get started with AppCard, the cashier and shopper experience can best be related to a big box retail experience. I know that a lot of you guys look up your customers within the CRM. We will sync with the Retail Pro CRM. So if you look up your customer like you normally do and you have a phone number within that customer's profile, we'll actually auto-generate the phone number into the AppCard loyalty box. You can then continue business as usual, cash, credit, or debit. The tender type won't matter, at which point we will award points, punches, or cash back, or a combination of them depending on how you set up your loyalty construct. As soon as you tender the transaction, your customer's phone is going to buzz and they're going to have an itemized receipt right on their phone. We can customize and brand these to your liking, and it will tell them how many points they earned right at the bottom. We are able to set up the physical receipts to display the points. I love this feature because I'm definitely the person that loses all their receipts. So now your merchants have access to all of their receipts, and you also have access to all of this information. So now that we have a pretty general knowledge of how artificial intelligence works and how AppCard for Retail Pro feeds data to Pinky, let's take a bit of a deeper look at some of the amazing things that Pinky is actually capable of. Our first campaign is going to be retaining risky shoppers. So this campaign is designed to identify shoppers that are likely to churn and not come back to your store. Pinky's algorithms are told to learn each shopper's buying cycle, their product choices, which gives it a solid picture of what to expect for their purchases, as well as whether they're exhibiting behavior that suggests they might churn. Pinky will look at each individual shopper and determine their next likely purchase. Let's say that shopper A makes a purchase on average every 17 days. If shopper A fails to make a purchase like normal, Pinky will reactively reach out with an incentive on the 18th day to bring that shopper back. This is one of Pinky's more successful marketing attributes, seeing as much as a 68% shopper return rate from those shoppers that were identified at risk. Product recommendations is governed by an intelligent algorithm known as our affinity matrix. So this artificial intelligence system determines what products each shopper may have an affinity for purchasing based not only on their behavior and their transaction history, but also shoppers that are likely to purchase them in product choices. In this example specifically, Pinky may determine that shoppers that buy, let's say, Nike running shoes are also very likely to buy Adidas running shorts. Pinky will then likely recommend Adidas shorts to all the shoppers that purchase running shoes. This could be similar to when you're shopping online and it says customers that purchased A also purchase item B. This is definitely one of the more exciting and interesting artificial intelligence campaigns that Pinky can run. As you go ahead and send promotions throughout the year, and it is important that you do in order for this to actually work, Pinky tracks the reaction of every single shopper to your promotion. So let's say, just for this example, you run a promotion for 10% off this week and you send it to all of your shoppers. Pinky will watch what day of the week and what time of each day the shopper makes a purchase as a result, and it then cross-references this against their transaction history. So Group A makes a purchase Tuesday after 5 p.m., Group B makes a purchase Thursday before 1 p.m., and lastly, Group C makes a purchase Saturday afternoon. You're going to rerun this exact campaign again, but this time allow Pinky to decide when best to send each shopper that promotion based on their reaction to the original. Pinky will send each shopper the promotion when they're most likely to use it, increasing conversions as well as convenience. So AI has the potential to learn and adapt to individual shopper preferences, using statistics and probability to enhance and improve your marketing efforts, but sometimes human intuition and creativity can see things that a machine obviously cannot. So in this next section, we'll review some of the tools that you'll have at your disposal that allow you to take shopper data as well as transaction history in order to create your own segments and your own targeting strategies. So with AppCard, we would provide you with a cloud-based computing dashboard where you can monitor 100% of transactions, again, loyalty and non-loyalty members in real time. This dashboard has over 105 different reports. The bottom arrow on the screen is highlighting the loyalty reach. So this metric measures the overall participation of shoppers using the loyalty program during their purchases. Given the importance of shopper identity, this is one of the most important metrics to monitor. In this case, 76% of this business's shoppers participate. So what that basically means is that 7 out of 10 shoppers are self-identifying through the rewards program and giving the business the ability to personalize marketing content to their customer base. The top arrow is pointing to the marketing section of the dashboard. So this is really where all the magic happens. Once you click into the marketing section of the dashboard, you'll be able to select either SMS or email communications. From there, you're going to have the option to set your own targeted conditions based on shopper behavior and transaction history. So you can select to target shoppers based on a variety of things. I'd like to say the sky's the limit or your mind is. But you can target based on a specific product purchase, a specific brand, a vendor. You can even select to target customers that have not purchased specific products or brand, because we know what your customers have bought, but that means we also know what they haven't bought. You can also layer multiple data points to create targeted shopper profiles. In this example, we see that you can target all customers that have bought Nike products, but have not bought Puma products, and have spent also a minimum of $1,000 since joining the rewards program. The system will then comb through the CRM, and it will let you know how many shoppers fit this unique profile that you've created and are eligible to receive either an SMS or an email. The marketing section of the dashboard gives you full creative power to target shoppers as you see fit. I'd be happy to schedule any time to show you guys a live dashboard and go into these data-driven marketing conditions in a bit more detail. There's really a lot that you can do in the custom campaign section. So everything that we've covered so far today seems wonderful and the potential is obvious. However, with any marketing system, proving ROI is always the most difficult, and it usually involves a lot of ifs, a lot of ands, and a lot of buts to actually prove it. So with AppCard for Retail Pro, there are no more ifs, ands, or buts when it comes to ROI. The AppCard system has all the necessary ingredients to calculate and definitively show ROI from every single communication. When you send an email or an SMS, AppCard will track the number of shoppers targeted, how many of them return to the store or your online to make an actual purchase as a result. Once they make the purchase, the system will log their transaction as a part of the reporting for the campaign, and it's going to show you exactly how much money to the penny your email or text message generated as a result. In this example, we have a business that sent a text message to 3,000 shoppers offering 10% off this week. 378 of them responded and made a purchase. Now, for all of you skeptics in the audience that are saying, well, how do I know that they wouldn't have come in anyway? Like, how do I know that they came in as a result of the text or the email? So I've got an answer for that as well. One of the most powerful ways to prove marketing ROI is to identify a control group along with your target audience. So what is a control group? A control group is basically a set of people who fit the criteria that you assign to that campaign, but whom you do not send the offer to. At the end of the marketing campaign, you can then compare the members of the campaign performed from a visits and revenue perspective against your control group, the people that received no offer. This is how you can truly determine whether your marketing offer and messaging had an impact on the target audience. Here we can run the same exact campaign as before, where those 3,000 shoppers are targeted with an SMS promotion. If we set a 10% control group, 300 of those shoppers will receive no promotion or incentive to make a purchase. The reporting would then calculate how much the recipients of the marketing content spent versus the control group. So in this example, we can see that the marketing increased your revenue by 14% when compared to that control group. So I know that we've gone over quite a bit of information today, and it could seem overwhelming. However, AppCard will be guiding and supporting you every step of the way. We do pair all of our businesses with an inside consultant here. You'll be on a first-name basis with them, and they'll get to know you and your business. Systems like AppCard are meant to make your life easier and to squeeze more return from your marketing dollars. In this final section, I'll quickly lay out what to expect in the first 12 months of working with AppCard for Retail Pro. So a lot of the time I speak to businesses and they have so many CRMs. They have one in Retail Pro. They have a second one if they have a current rewards program. They have a third one in a MailChimp or Constant Contact, and they might even have a fourth one in their current SMS provider. None of these channels are speaking to each other. What we can do is we can take all of your customer data, download a CSV file from each, and we can upload it into the AppCard dashboard. This will completely eliminate you having to build reports within Retail Pro to then upload into an email templating tool, as we have an email templating tool built into the dashboard already with all of your transaction data already available. So then once we upload the information, we'll start to append transactions from Retail Pro, and you'll have individual shopper profiles with a historical archive of purchase history, and then you can use that data to inform emails, text messages, as well as push notifications. During your first 12 months on the platform, you'll undergo 3 evolutionary cycles of marketing automations. Each becomes more specific and more personalized as you continue capturing shopper identity and transaction information from your shoppers. Prior to actually launching, your AppCard account executive, which is me, will provide you with a written documentation customized to your business that will provide an initial program type and a reward catalog recommendation based on your industry and your goals. Over the next 6 months, I'll meet with you regularly to discuss the data trends and make recommendations for different marketing campaign opportunities as they present themselves. You'll focus on shopper participation and CRM building, leading to that 6-month analysis. At the halfway mark, we'll provide you with a new marketing automation based on the data that we're seeing and shopper segmentation opportunities that we also come across. Finally, at month 12, you'll have captured sufficient data to allow Pinky to basically just take the reins. At this stage, we'll begin to discuss which Pinky settings make the most sense for your business and start to implement the power of artificial intelligence. AppCard is compatible with versions 8, 9, and Prism. And here you can see a couple of still shots of our mobile application. It's important to note that the mobile app is a nice to have, not a need to have. We do not require customers to download anything in order to participate in your rewards program. This is a way for them to see your branded storefront. So each location of yours would have a branded storefront with all your store details, hours, website, reward program details, available offers that you might be running, and they'll have access to all of those digital receipts right within the app as well. If they don't want to download the app, it's very simple to go right online, log into the account online, and have access to all the same information. If they come into the store and they haven't done either or, then you'll have access to all of the information via the merchant dashboard. Most of our Retail Pro customers just keep the dashboard up right at the point of sale, and we can build store-level permissions so that the managers of each one of your locations can maybe look up receipts, manually add or remove points, associate digital receipts, but they won't have access to any of the sensitive sales information. That concludes our presentation for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I'd love to get to know you and your business a bit more, or maybe show you some more of that live dashboard that we talked about. And even if you're just looking to get a bit of feedback on your current processes, I'm happy to help. Here you can find my email as well as my direct line here at the office. And let's go to the question panel. Looks like we do have some questions here. If you have any questions, go ahead and pull up the question panel on the GoToWebinar, and we'll go through those now. So question one, is there an app? So yep, we just talked about this briefly. There is an AppCard app. It is not a requirement for customers to participate. It is just a nice to have. The next question is, what if I'm already using a rewards program? Okay, so this is great. We constantly are moving all customer information from other loyalty programs into AppCard. Your customers actually won't lose their current points. So we can take and centralize all of your customer data within the AppCard dashboard. That way you can manage the full cycle of all marketing communication in one place with the transaction history from Retail Pro attached, as well as being able to track the return on investment to the cent on all of your marketing messages. Next question is, what if I need some help coming up with campaign ideas? Do you provide support? So the answer is yes. We do pair you up with a success manager here at AppCard. They don't just help you with the installations and the beginning process. We're there to support you throughout. We can definitely give you some ideas, and we'd like to have a monthly call with you if you have the time for us, just to go over the data, see if there's any other opportunities that we see, as well as what might be working well in your industry. Can you go over how control groups work again? We make setting up the control groups super simple. So you simply check a box to identify a control group within your campaign setup, and you put in what percentage of the target you want to use for that specific control group. And again, I'd be happy to walk you through a live dashboard so that you could see the different ways to actually set up the data-driven marketing campaigns. Here we have another question. Do you integrate with e-commerce? Yes, absolutely. We do have open APIs to integrate with your e-commerce, which is amazing because within the dashboard, you can now monitor your entire network in real time, not only brick and mortar, but also all e-commerce purchases. So in the dashboard, you can view your entire network. You can look at locations individually, or you can actually look at regions or a few at a time. You could then segment to just online purchases and see that. In the dashboard, you're also able to see which locations your customers have visited if you have more than one location. So e-commerce would actually come up there as another location visited, and we've had a lot of success doing bounce backs, where if somebody comes into your store and they make a purchase, the likelihood of that customer coming all the way back to the physical location in the next couple of days might be small, but if we can send them an offer to shop online in the next 24 to 48 hours, that's something that we've had a lot of success with. The next question is, I understand there's an e-receipt component to AppCard. How customizable is the e-receipt? Can we put our look and feel? So yeah, we can definitely brand it to your colors, and they'll have your logo right at the top, so it'll seem like it's coming from you. It tells them how many points they earned right at the bottom, and then we can also configure your physical receipts to also display the points right at the bottom. But everything is completely customizable. It's powered by AppCard, but it is your loyalty program and your marketing channels. Since we are a tourist location, would it help just to use AI to monitor the purchases and recommendations? Yes, we do have ways to segment customers that might be local or tourists so that you can market to each group differently. So we do have ways to actually, at the point of sale, determine whether it's a local or tourist customer. And then within the dashboard, you'll actually have two different groups, and then you can segment that way and pick which group you want to send the offer to. If you have something online, we work with a lot of touristy locations that, again, use that POS transaction API to capture customers' phone numbers, emails, and so on, but then use the information to then send those people to their online website. So there's definitely a lot of things that we can do with that. Is the e-commerce integration unlimited or specific? So There is many different ways to integrate with e-commerce. As you know, there's many platforms, Magento, BigCommerce, and so on. So we figured the easiest way to have everybody set up the ideal loyalty construct that they want is through our APIs. So we actually give you access to the API so that you can build your ideal loyalty construct, and it can be the same as brick and mortar. And we do offer support in order to help you integrate that with your website. We'll actually open up a Slack channel, which is basically a live chat with your developers and ours so that we can help you to streamline and build that best loyalty construct. Does the system work well if you don't do e-commerce? Absolutely. So e-commerce is something that we recently started focusing on a little bit more, but we've always been at the brick and mortar level. And typically a lot of times they'll start on the brick and mortar level and then they'll integrate with their e-commerce as well. How does the pricing work? I'd be happy to share with you what the pricing is if you can just send me an email or give me a call. Our pricing is based on location and the number of workstations. So if you're looking for a quote, please send me an email and I'm happy to provide you with that. If a client does register with AppCard, do we also get their shopping tendencies that will influence how we cater to them? So yes, if they register to AppCard, you're literally going to see everything about that shopper, and then we can use that transaction history, their preferences, their favorite products and brands, which location they visit, how much they've spent to influence them and cater to them on that one-to-one level. Can you please share the presentation at the end? Absolutely. We will be sending this out as a recording afterwards, so look out for that. Give people just one more minute or two to ask any more questions before we hop off. Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Again, here's my contact information. I look forward to connecting with you guys in the future and learning a little bit more about your business, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.